Welcome back to the CharCole Podcast. This is episode 7, and today we're going to get right into it with high school football.
Some notable games this week. 3 big ones overall, ranking-wise.
Yeah.
We have number 2, Sioux Falls Roosevelt versus number 3, Harrisburg. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think Harrisburg's going to come into that game knowing that they can beat really good teams, as they have so far this year, and I think they're going to come out with a win this game.
I think they do too, but don't sleep on Roosevelt. AAA is really inconsistent this year, so you never know what's going to happen with these teams,
you really
especially with the Roosevelt team, with the Dan bringing that kid at quarterback. He could do something special.
He could. And the next notable game, you have number 3 Mitchell versus number 4 Yankton, 11 AA. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on this one is this going to be one of the worst football games of the week in the state. Both teams really aren't great. Mitchell's number 6 in power points in 11 AA, which
they're ranked number 3, which I don't understand.
I don't understand either. If maybe a bunch of Mitchell people are voting on the media poll or what, but
I don't
Mitchell
know.
isn't great.
They're really not that good so far.
And then Yankton, on the other hand, I think they're a lot better than most people expect. I think if I were to rank the AAA teams, Yankton would be ahead of Mitchell, maybe even at the 2 spot.
It is possible. Next notable game, we have number 1 Bonham versus number 4 Kimball Whitelake. What are your thoughts on this one?
Thoughts on this one is Kimball Whitelake's going to have to come out hard to see if they can get themselves out of this game. Kimball Whitelake's a 9A team. This is a rematch of the state championship last year. So both these teams are going to be hungry, especially Kimball Whitelake, because they blew that big lead at halftime last year in the championship.
They did.
So I see Kimball losing by just about a touchdown. I think it's going
to be a touchdown game. I honestly do. And
now,
so
we're going to move on to college football week 5 picks here. We have obviously the segment we usually try to get to on Fridays. This is the first Friday we can actually get to it. This week, Dawson. Dawson's behind the camera today. Dawson, you can probably say hi quick.
Hello.
This week, Dawson is he's 3-1 this week, and he has number 10 Notre Dame over number 18 Virginia, and unranked Rutgers over number 20 Michigan.
Yep. I'm also coming in 3-1 this week. My lock is number 6 Oklahoma over unranked Texas Tech, and my upset is the opposite of Dawson's lock, number 18 Virginia versus number 10 Notre Dame. After that loss, I can see him kind of riding the roller coaster a little bit, but that's going to be a close one.
Yep. This week I am 3-1. I have number 14 Iowa over unranked Middle Tennessee. And my upset this week is unranked Oklahoma State, who played a really tough game against Texas last week. So look out for Oklahoma State. I have them over Kansas State.
Yes. And Mr. Denning comes into the week 2-2. He also has his lock as Iowa over unranked Middle Tennessee. And his upset is Minnesota over Purdue in a Big Ten matchup.
Mr. Schaefer comes into this week 2-2. Also, he took number 9 Florida over unranked Dawson, and his upset was Hawaii over Nevada.
Mr. Hetland comes in the week the short straw, 1-3. He's the back of the pack. His lock is also number 9 Florida over unranked Towson, and his upset is Maryland over number 12 Penn State. You know, Mr. Hetland's a big Maryland guy, so he's gonna have to pick that one.
Yep. And Mr. Christensen's lock, our broadcast tech teacher, is taking number 8 Wisconsin over unranked Northwestern, and his upset this week is unranked Washington State over 19 Utah.
Okay, and with that, we're going to move into a new segment we will have on this CharCole Podcast. We have a wheel of topics, just a wide variety, NFL, college football, high school, anything really honestly related to sports, and we're going to spin that and see which one we're going to talk about.
We're going to spin... Probably, what do you want to do, 4? 4 today?
Probably 4 out of 6. We have 6.
So, here we go. Our first wheel topic will be... Ooh, this is a good one. The 2 best 11B football players. 11B, you have, obviously, Jesse Hastings.
Mount Vernon Plankton.
Yep, from Mount Vernon Plankton. Nash Hutmaker from Chamberlain. And you have the quarterback from Bridgewater Emory, Brady Hawkins, who's having a great season too. So, who do you have?
I'm going to have to go with Hawkins and Hastings here. 2 probably the best in the biz right now. They're playing really good football. got a good team behind him. When those two faced off, it was two run teams going after each other. It was probably one of the best games you'll ever see. So that's who I have as my picks.
I agree with you, but there's one thing that I'll take Jesse and Hutmaker for this reason. Think of it this way: if Brady Hawkins was to go to college right now, how would he turn out? Here's my opinion on this. My opinion is he goes to college, he'd be a good quarterback, but he cannot throw as good as most of the quarterbacks who go to college. He can run the ball.
Yeah, he's more of a running quarterback.
That's what Bridgewater Emory does. Yep. That's what they do.
Yep.
So I see Hutmaker and Jesse being the best 11B players. Hawkins is still good though. He is.
Both of them both committed to college. Hastings to NDSU for running back, and Hutmaker to Nebraska as a lineman. So
that's our first one there.
Yep, that's the first one.
Our next one will be: is Kirk Cousins the most overpaid pile of junk in the NFL? Well,
okay,
you can go here first.
Okay, just to get this started, he was paid a lot of money, and almost all of it was guaranteed. And so far through, what have they played? 3 games so far in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so.
3 games. He has underperformed immensely. They're really hammering the running game because they actually have a running game this year. But when it comes down to those passing downs, it's always an incomplete pass or a completion short where they have to punt it or kick a field goal. So, yes. Vikings put too much money into him, and he is underachieving this year.
I think you have to give him time. I think you do, because if you don't give him time, he obviously has 2 of the best wide receivers, probably the best wide receiver duo in the league.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that agree with me on that point. But if he cannot consistently do stuff, and it's not all him too, because some of it's play calling.
Right.
Why would you throw the ball if you're in the red zone and you have one of the best running backs in the league? Why would you throw the ball?
Yep.
That's how the Packers got out of that one game against us.
Yep.
Is because we threw the ball in the red zone. So that really doesn't help us in the fact of play calling there by Kevin Stefanski. So I mean, he's all right. I think he'll develop a lot more over the season in the play calling. But I think he's going to be okay.
It does come with time, and there is other factors, but they put a lot of money into him, and he just hasn't performed. But I think if we give him time, I do see your point. If you give him time, he might improve. So,
all right, we're going to head to our next topic there. That was the second one. And the next one is your NFL MVP pick as of right now.
Right now, Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes? Okay. And with what basis do you say that?
What basis? How he has improved or stayed consistent from last season. Because everyone's talking, last season was the best season of his career. He's never getting better. Well, in my opinion, he almost has gotten better from last season. There have been a couple ups and downs. Granted, it is week 3. Or it is week 4 this week. But he is playing really good. He's got good wide receivers, good running backs. He's got a decent line. And he's just performing, honestly, as good, if not better, than last year.
Yes. But another thing, you think of it like this. He's a dual threat pass and run. But if you think of it another way, he's a dual threat because he gets to work with Andy Reid. He's one of the best play callers in the league offensively.
Yes.
He calls everything and he uses his weapons really well.
Yes, he does.
If you think of Stefanski, for example, from Minnesota, he doesn't use his weapons as much as Andy Reid does down in Kansas City. Stefanski, he maybe throws it to Adam Thielen 3 times a game for big games, or for big gains. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes is the guy.
I honestly do right now.
And another thing you think about too is Tom Brady. He's having a great season too.
He is.
And
he's always having great seasons.
Especially with what he has. Especially with what he has, it's going to be really hard for.
Yeah.
He's definitely probably. There's a difference between the most valuable player of the year and the best player of the year.
Yeah.
The most valuable player of the year is probably Tom Brady, but the best player is...
The best player, yeah.
Because if you threw Tom Brady on the Kansas City Chiefs, it probably wouldn't be the same because he doesn't have the feet like Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I could see Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes throw up for the AFC there.
Honestly, yeah.
So we're going to skip to the next one here.
This would be the last topic, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it'd be the last one here. is Tua Tagovailoa, is he legit, or does his offense and the rest of the team just carry him?
This one is kind of confusing because he is good, but his team is really good as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, depending on who you ask,
If you think
it can
about
go both ways.
everyone from the South wants to go to Alabama.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go to college? You want to go to Alabama because they're going to win championships. They're going to produce NFL players. They produce the most NFL players.
Yes.
Probably since Miami back in the day.
Yeah,
They produced a lot of NFL players.
Yes.
So when they can produce NFL players like that, they get college or high school players to want to go there. Well, when there's a bunch of people that can back up Tua Tagovailoa, especially his offensive line, it's going to be really hard for him not to do well.
I know. Yeah, it is hard. Another funny thing is they're running a route that'll essentially score a touchdown, and the receivers are playing rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to catch it because they know that Tua's throw is going to be that good and that on the money.
Well, and, Nick Saban has a system where, if you think about it, what wide receivers, Julio Jones, he was about the biggest guy that's played with Alabama.
Yeah.
Julio Jones is probably the biggest guy that he's played for. But if you think about it, what wide receivers have came from Alabama that have been big? They're all smaller guys, faster guys.
They're quick.
And they're guys that can make a move.
Yeah, they can make a move and they're quick with it. So,
Yeah.
So to answer the question, is he legit?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Right now, if I were to say who the Heisman Trophy winner was, which is probably one of the questions we should be asking ourselves right now, what's happening with him? I believe that he is legit. I think he is.
I think he is too. He's a good quarterback all around. He can run the ball too if they really need him to.
And a left-handed quarterback is hard to find.
Yeah.
So that about wraps it up for today. I don't got anything else. So
I really don't have anything else.
We're good now.
Thank you for listening to episode 7, and I liked that last little segment there.
Yeah, that was nice. A little bit of spitfire and not as much reading off the tape there.
Yep. So thank you guys for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.